Hello, we are Iteration 0 and this is our project Unscripted. Unscripted is a mobile app built around one central idea: connection, not correction. When someone experiencing memory loss becomes confused, the natural instinct is often to correct them. However, our research consistently showed that correction tends to escalate the stress rather than resolve it. Instead, emotional validation helps maintain trust and reduce agitation. Unscripted supports caregivers and people with memory loss by providing tools that encourage validation and gentle reassurance rather than factual correction. This is our home screen. From here, users can either log in to retrieve existing settings or create a new account. For the purpose of this demo, we'll create a new account. When a caregiver first opens the app, they complete a short setup process. They provide basic information about the person they care for, including the name the person uses to refer to them, and identify the types of confusion situations that occur most frequently. For example, my name is Rena, so I'd enter that here. In our demo, we also included my teammates' names, such as Michelle and Keenan. This step is more than simple onboarding. It enables personalization. By learning the relational context ahead of time, the app can provide responses that feel personal and supportive, rather than generic or clinical. This also reduces the cognitive burden on caregivers during stressful moments. Caregivers also have the option to record their own voice messages. This feature was directly informed by our formative research. Participants consistently reported that familiar voices are one of the most effective ways to reduce agitation and restore calm during confusion episodes. By incorporating voice recordings, the caregiver's presence becomes part of the system, even when they're not there physically. This is the caregiver home screen. There are 3 primary actions: get guidance, send reassurance, or take a breather. We intentionally limited the interface to 3 clear choices. Caregivers often interact with the app in emotionally charged situations, so the design prioritizes speed and clarity. There are no menus or navigation bars. The caregiver opens the app and immediately sees the most relevant options. If the caregiver chooses Send Reassurance, they can compose a short message or attach a voice recording. Each message is tagged to a specific situation, such as confusion about time. This ensures that the appropriate reassurance appears at the appropriate moment. This feature directly implements Requirement 4 from our formative research: context-sensitive guidance. If the caregiver instead chooses Get Guidance, they select the type of confusion occurring in the moment. Examples include misremembered events, confusion about time or place, repeated questions, or not recognizing someone. These categories were derived directly from the patterns described by our secondary stakeholders during interviews. After selecting a category, the caregiver receives a short, actionable response strategy. These suggestions focus on emotional validation and gentle redirection. Importantly, they are not correction scripts or clinical instructions, but rather conversational prompts that caregivers can adapt naturally. This feature addresses finding 4 from our research. While 74% of caregivers reported needing guidance, only 34% felt confident responding in the moment. After viewing guidance, the caregiver can either request another suggestion or return to the home screen. The interaction is intentionally brief. In caregiving situations, even small amounts of friction can create additional stress, so the system is designed to minimize interaction time. We now shift to the primary stakeholder's perspective. Caesar, someone living with memory loss, opens the same app, but sees a completely different interface. Instead of caregiving tools, Caesar sees 3 simple options related to emotional state. I feel unsure. Hear a familiar voice. Take a breather. There is no setup, no categories, and no navigation complexity. The interface focuses on a single question: how are you feeling right now? If selecting options feels difficult, Caesar can also describe the situation using voice input. If Caesar selects I feel unsure, the app asks one simple follow-up question: what's happening right now? The options shown here correspond to the same confusion categories defined during the caregiver setup, and they use the same color palette associated with those situations. This visual consistency connects the caregiver and primary stakeholder experiences without requiring either person to remember specific instructions. Based on the selected situation, Caesar receives a reassurance message prepared in advance by the caregiver. For example, "You don't need to worry about that right now. You're safe here with me. I'm someone who cares about you." These messages are not generic affirmations. They are written or recorded by the caregiver specifically for these moments. Caesar can also press the play button to hear the caregiver's voice directly. Both caregivers and primary stakeholders can access a breathing exercise at any time. The interface is intentionally minimal. Users simply see the words inhale, hold, exhale, paired with an expanding circle animation. There are no instructions to read and no decisions to make. This supports emotional regulation for both stakeholders. Our experience maps showed that the extend phase, after a confusion episode, is where emotional fatigue tends to accumulate most strongly.